Would like to also introduce you to our friends Gauss and Jordan. Now they developed or they expanded our model where we got it into row echelon form and then looked at how we can get it to reduced row echelon form. Remember, row echelon form was where we had ones in the diagonal and zeros to the left. Reduced row echelon form is the same thing. Ones on the diagonal, zeros to the left, but also zeros to the right as well. So let's go back and look at an example we did earlier where we solved this system and modeled it or modified it into row echelon form. So from that work, didn't do all the steps. You can go back and watch that video if you want to figure out how we got from here to here. But let's say we're here now. How can we continue this problem and get it into reduced row echelon form? So I started over again with my work up here, same systems. I'm going to multiply, since I want zeros above all the ones, as well below all the ones. So I want zeros up in the top two spots there. So let's begin with how to get this one to become a zero. So let's go ahead and let's multiply row 1 or row 2. Let's multiply it by a -1 and add it to row 1. So that just still is a 1. -1 times a 1 is -1. -1 plus a 1 is a 0. -1 times a 2 is a -2. -2 plus a 2 is a 0. -1 to a 13 is -13. -13 plus a 19 provides a 6. Now we have a 0 above the 1. Over here, I need to get zeros above the bottom one. So let's go ahead and let's multiply the bottom row by a -2 and add it to row 2. So -2 times row 3, add that and replace row 2. So let's draw my 0, 0, 1, and 5. 0, 1, -2 times a 1 gives me a -2. -2 plus a 2 is a 0. -10 plus a 13 gives me a +3. And I did nothing with my top row at all. And from there, notice that I have ones on the diagonal, and above and below the ones are zeros. So this tells me then, if I can realize that this is my x value, so x equals 6, y equals 3, and z equals 5. Same solutions we got earlier, but this, what we can do is take our Gaussian elimination as far as to get to row echelon form, and then with his help, Jordan, use it to modify and get zeros above the 1 and get it down to reduced row echelon form where our solutions are just directly written there, 6, 3, 5. So hope that was a little bit of a good introduction for you, for those of you that want to explore this further and move on to linear algebra.